Hello and welcome to the Guildball World Team Championship here in Belgium. I'm your host Jamie.
And I'm Alex. So we go into round 4 here, so these are the semi-finals. We have, this Germany 1 and USA 1?
Germany 1 versus USA 1, and we have Martin Koch versus Pat van Valzer. And it is Fishermen versus Brewers, and they're currently going into team selection now. So, just waiting on player mics to come through, and then we will get to the team draws now. It looks like I can see Jack, Siren, Corsair, Tentacles, and Sakana so far for Fishermen. And for Brewers, it looks like Scum, Tapper, Hemlock, Spigot, and Hooper have been drawn so far. And finishing up with potentially Mash there.
What do you think to this matchup overall?
Having played both guilds frequently at tournaments, this has always been a tough matchup for my Brewers. The Fishermen are the complete anti sort of...
But I'm right in saying this is a Corsair, right?
This is a Corsair lineup, yeah. So it's a little bit different from when I used to play, because when I played it was just Shark, just Tapper.
It was like you just slow me down.
You slow me down, and you never trigger. All my defensive tech is tough hide,
and you get
and you don't care about
dodges.
That. Yeah,
which you hit relatively easy because of
my low defense. And looks like we got Mash as well. So, Mash, thoughts for the Brewers? Just another 2-inch melee and potentially a pain to pin down?
I think my main concern with Mash is when you're against a team with lots of 2-inch melee where they're roping you in.
Defensive tech is not great for him.
It's not just his unpredictable movement either. Is this a Tapper or an Estes team?
This is a Tapper team.
This is a Tapper team. So the other parts are relevant anyway, but I was going to mention about the dragging out of range. Is it the extra armor?
Extra armor. The Def 3 arm too.
It looks like one of those old school Death Ball teams.
Yeah.
Corsair's pretty good at unpicking Death Balls.
Now, I have played a Tapper lineup into Corsair, and it was rough. The blind from Tentacles shuts Tapper down like nothing else.
Yep.
You know, -2 tack, bring him down to tack 4.
And the speed.
The speed is grim. Trying to hit Corsair, he's sturdy, so the knockdown just doesn't happen on him because he counterattacks and pushes you away.
Yep.
And he's likely to hit that double push because of the low defense of the Brewers. And it can just be a tough matchup. And Corsair's not somebody you want to fight, but you don't get a choice in the matter because he pulls you to him.
And even if you're not triggering it off the playbook, generally you're needing 3s to drag in these players.
Yeah, you're getting that. The only sort of defensive player, I believe, is Friday if she's been picked.
Friday and Scum.
Friday and Scum. And Scum...
If Friday's in there. I think that's Friday's
and that's Friday
sitting on top of Scum's, but it might be Tapper's. Yeah. I think Friday's card's in there somewhere. I can definitely recognise...
I can recognise Tapper, Hooper, Spigot, Stave, Mash, Scum, and then I believe that is Friday. I think you need... Something I've learned a lot from taking Brewers and trying to play the death ball is that you need your breakaway striker to score that last goal or to score an immediate response goal.
It's very similar to the game we saw yesterday with Veteran Rage, where it's like I'm trying to get to 8 without you touching the ball.
Yeah, and then I need to
just going to run
finish
it and finish it.
Yeah.
And which game do we have on the other table? I believe it's England 1, Germany 2?
Yes, correct, yeah. If you want to follow along at home and see results as they come in live, I will post a link in the Twitch chat now, and you can go visit that. But it is www.wmh-wtc.com/guildball/. So thank you all around the world for joining in. It is very early in most places at the moment.
It is very early in most places. I guess
9 AM on a Sunday morning back in the UK, and who knows what in the US.
Yeah.
And if you're in
And
Australia,
various,
God help you.
There's 7,000 time zones in the US.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even predict what it is over there.
I guess we can run through the WTC format rules super quick before everything gets going, and we've got something else to talk about.
It's not. It's Hemlock. It's not Friday. It's Hemlock.
Okay.
There's a big purple card
There
there.
is a big purple card there. It was hidden.
Yeah.
So the WTC stands for World Team Championships. Every nation will have anywhere between 1 and 3 teams. Each team consists of 3 players.
Yep.
Those players have a restriction in terms of captains they can take, where you could have sort of 2 Brewers players, but if one takes Tapper, the other one can only take Esters. You can't ever duplicate a captain within a team, but you can duplicate within a nation as long as they're not on the same team.
Yeah.
And then once you get to sort of your selection, their pairings come up, and then it's a team of 3 against a team of 3. One team's captain will put forward a guild. The other team will reply with, this player with this guild is playing you on that table.
Yep.
And then that's reversed on the second pick. And then the third is the 2 players that are left. And then outside of that, it's just regular Guildball rules.
Yes.
It's irrelevant of what the scores are within the game.
Yep.
Whoever wins gets 1 point for their team. Whoever loses gets 0 points. And whichever way it goes, one team will win 2-1 or 3-0. So it's impossible for there to be draws. It's entirely binary. You get a 1 or a 0.
Yeah. Guys in the chat saying this looks a pretty rough matchup for Brewers, guessing that Germany picked this matchup. We in the box don't know about that. So this is quite a unique time for us as the commentators, because
it's a setup where we're completely separate to all the players. We're up in what I'm going to call the hot box, which is essentially like a VIP auditorium box. So we can hear like the mic going off, and we can hear a bit of chatter from the players that are kind of directly beneath us.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we're kind of completely away from the action, which is a weird one, because once we're finished sort of commentating over a game and we go downstairs, once all the players are finishing up and have a chat with them, you can feel the atmosphere.
Yes, you can't.
Up here, we can't.
It's cut off. But it has been a fantastic event. It looks like we're setting up now, and Fish are going to be kicking to the Brewers. And Fish choices, we got Corsair Tentacles, Original Siren, Jack, Grayscales, and I would assume Sakana's in there.
I believe it's Sakana, yeah.
Choices on Jack, going for the very brawly team with him in there.
It's a weird one, where we were actually discussing Jack outside this morning. We're essentially talking over players that sort of went through almost like a trend of being super popular. People had worked out something that worked really well.
Yeah.
And just the way that the Guildball community works, other people try it out.
Yep.
And then it falls out of favour because everyone starts playing around it. You know, there was a big period of time where lots of people were taking Jack just for his heroic.
Yes.
Then you're essentially forcing your opponent to play down the middle, which made your job dodging through to goal way easier.
Yeah. You cut off sort of 1/3 of the board, because he had that very, very reliable 7-inch push.
Yep.
Where he
just
ramming speed, attack with the 1-inch momentous push, and then trigger the heroic.
Interestingly, that is the point where I found it hard to continue to include Jack in the way that I was playing Fish.
Yeah.
Is generally a Fish strength is the unbelievably reliable momentum that you can get out of them. Jack, not the case. He doesn't have a momentous result on the 1.
He needs that 2 hits.
His counter-attack's decent because of his trait that gives him the extra 2. I found in most games I played, it was very often he gets is it 2 for ramming speed?
1 for ramming speed, 1 for the sprint.
Yeah. And then he would go once I had some momentum. Yeah. Very often he's more of a distraction than anything else. So pop him near the edge. You know, you need to be aware of that. And it's also very useful. I often used it in combination with Tidal Surge to push a player into a position where I needed them to bounce off. So it's not necessarily shove them towards the board, but they're not close enough to the edge of the board to be forced off. Yeah. But I can shove them back in field to give me somewhere to push.
So roll there just went off the board with the scatter, and re-rolled. Quite nice there. Yeah. Something that is very useful for having played my Fisherman into Brewers a lot and playing against Tapper is obviously Commanding Aura's great. Tried and tested from Jack forces all those players well away from where they want to be.
Breaking the pack up, you can
really disrupt the Brewer ball.
And it's kind of that, you can kind of get the 1-2 of Corsair hooks one in, Jack goes and shoves the rest away, and you just every
finish
turn
that one.
Just single one off. One thing that you're going to struggle with in terms of damage, but you're definitely going to see focus on the players. You know, Pat will be aware of the players that Corsair's going to try and focus to get down. Corsair doesn't really want to be spending time on players with tough hide if you can avoid it. Tough hide in this matchup gives you so much value because the fish have no way of punching past it, or at least evening that out. Every time you choose a damage result, you're losing damage on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for the fisherman with no damage multipliers. That is a lot to get through. 17 and 18 tough hide health respectively. Just putting for guys who've just joined a little bit late, I'm just going to put the teams in Twitch. But for the Brewers, we have Tapper, Scum, Spigot, Hooper, Mash, and Hemlock. And for the fishermen, we have Corsair, Tentacles, spelling it out, Siren, Sakana, Grayscales, and who was the final one? Jack. We just talked about him forever.
So, something I'm not... Spigot seems brave.
Spigot's one of those...
You can't not take him.
You can't not take him, but he is the easiest takeout in the Brewer lineup by a long shot.
Yeah.
The choice of Hemlock's really interesting. Because this is a fish team that like to bunker up, basically. Putting out that poison AoE just gets everything ticking a little bit easier.
There's partly that. There's partly the ability to
smell
get rid of knockdowns.
Knockdown clear. She clears her own heals too with Magical Brew.
It's being able to always get out of a situation where we had a situation in one of the games yesterday where the momentum that was generated from losing the initiative roll was spent on a counter-attack that didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
And then in a position where you had a knockdown model that wasn't engaging anyone and couldn't do anything. I believe it was Pin Vice.
We've got a kick to mash, so that's 2 momentum now for the Brewers. Having these passes go along and being successful early means that you can use the Spigot Heroic to really speed your players up.
If you feel like you want to. It's a peculiar one.
I don't know, I think it's a pretty good option.
You want to try and get that ball up as quick because someone's going to get hooked out and you want the supporting cast to be as close as possible.
Especially with Siren as far back as she is, there's no chance for... Well, let's say there's no chance. It's not likely to be a lure pulled away so that Heroic won't hurt you as much because she is so far on the flank.
Yep.
I mean, what the sort of the standard far on the flank thing with Siren and Jack where they are is that Siren lures somebody out towards the board edge, Jack comes and just hoofs him off. Easiest 2VPs you'll score if someone isn't wise to it.
But you do need momentum to do that.
1 momentum.
Currently, the fish have none.
None. Well, Corsair's yet to go.
It's interesting here. I assume Pat's going to kind of start to wheel around away from Corsair.
Oh, yeah. Like you want to get on the other side. Well, yeah. You want to be playing on the other side of the pitch away from Corsair because he's so slow to get there. If you can just stay out of his 12-inch bubble, you're pretty safe. The big piece of... rough ground will make a huge difference on this game because Brewers hate having their speed reduced anymore. Corsair, whilst he's not a fan of it either, he can at least pull someone through that rough ground. And if he can get someone on the other side of it, that is a big old piece to try and get through for the Brewers.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys in chat saying, will Pat score early in turn 1? Will he try to do it at the top of 2? Or will he just try and kill the ball away from these fish and go for the sort of the beatdown game?
I don't think Pat has a huge amount of control over the engagement points in this game. There's just so much reposition on the opposition team that...
I mean, the thing that you need to be careful of with Corsair as well is the rough seas to take the ball off somebody at range. Yep. I've been caught out by that because I just forget
kind of forget. You're like, harpoon's the thing I'm scared of.
Exactly, the drag. Not
drag, sorry.
Harpoon. What are you, season 2?
The glory days.
The rough seas is the one that I could, because you're so scared of it, I better stay 6 away because of this. And then when he gets in range, he goes, actually, I'll take the ball. You're like, no, you meant to pull me in and tackle it. Oh, I forgot about this.
This is
everything's terrible now.
I've lost the ball, and my entire plan was based around 4-inch dodges off passes. And Now I'm just stuck behind this lump of rough ground.
Yeah.
I now need to come back towards you to get that.
Yeah.
But I'm the other side of this rough ground that I was using to defend myself because I forgot that
you can just
take
take the ball off me.
2 ways within your team of hooking a ball off me.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it so scary, is that MASH needs to get to the other side of that field. I mean,
there's the ball. There's the death ball.
The death ball is forming. Then we're looking at the high-def models on the front, potentially, to keep it out. Well, how I would assume. We've got Tapper up there. He's not an attractive target to hook in, but he's also not impossible to kill with his team.
I mean, it's not so much to kill. I don't know how much you mind about killing him. It's partially just that momentum.
Momentum generating, yeah. So it sees here that we're looking at a potential lure in from Hemlock. And looks to be successful. Remember, in case you weren't watching yesterday, we don't have the dice cam, so we're as sort of reliant on people pointing out as you.
Speculating to a degree.
And is Hemlock walk forwards to within 2 inches. And just so you guys at home are aware, we just lost player mics, so we're currently a little bit in the dark as to what's going on.
This is peculiar. Everything's very, very, like, everything was quiet because we're not in the main room. Now it's dead
silence. It's what we set ourselves talking away.
So I'm guessing that was
a dodge to generate some momentum.
Yeah.
You see the dice there on the goal marker for Martin.
Yes, I can see that now.
And filthy tape measure.
Shudder.
Guys who are asking why aren't we watching certain other matches, we have one setup, one camera setup on the tables, and we've said, we're not here to influence players.
No,
this table has been set up by TOs.
And then we've got a camera over the top of it, and we'll talk over it, but we're not interfering with anything you're doing. Don't feel like you have to sort of plan anything around. And obviously, a big part of it is some tables, the terrain benefits other people.
Yeah. So we saw quite a few engineers yesterday.
And it's kind of we get what we're given.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. Planning for a goal run? So that was a pass to MASH, from MASH to Spigot, and then a 4-inch dodge, not Spigot, sorry, 4 dice because of Spigot, and the Football Legend aura, to what looks like Hooper or Tapper. Looks like Tapper with all those things on him. Just getting out of the way of the fishermen, coming in, and picking their pockets. Like Burglar Bill. Ooh, I'll have that.
Oh, God. Here we go again. Not going to let that one go, are you?
No, I'll hang on to that one for the rest of my days. Here's Corsair coming into Hemlock now.
So I believe...
I just walked in by 6 attacks. 7 dice because of crowd outs. 2 hits. Momentous knockdown. Down to Def 4 now. She has 10 health. He has 5 more attacks coming in. 4 hits. 2 momentous damage in the push, so 8 health left. Next attack coming in. I would expect to see Hemlock taken off the field here, potentially. Same again, 2 more damage. 4th attack coming in. Just 1 damage this time, maybe she's not going down. Pat not sounding happy with how things have gone there. That was a very defeated... Yep, 5 health left.
That should be safe, right?
3 health left. Need a big old wrap to do it.
I don't think it's a wrap. I'm pretty sure.
He's got a 3?
He's got 3 damage, so he needs 4.
Okay. Takes 2 minutes damage and a push, leaves her on 1 health left. So question, has Pat just baited Corsair down to that far side of the pitch?
I don't know if it's so much a bait as...
it's 2 VPs.
Yeah, like there's going to be some really weird engagement. where it kind of follows the ball to a degree. You're at a point where eventually the Brewer player needs to score.
Yeah.
And then he's got a pack set up down at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is Grayscales and Sakana can both just go score as well. You know, they're not in a position where they can't tackle the ball off a Def 3 Armour 1 model and then put it in themselves. There's 2 points then to Martin already.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you're looking at a clumped up Brewer ball, and then you had a player out on their own. You kind of take what you're given.
Yeah. I mean, and also, you saw Martin there lure Hemlock in, and he knew what was going on there.
Yep.
I don't think it was a bait so much.
Perhaps like a calculated piece trade. Where he was,
I'll take these 2 VPs and spend an extra turn. Because you've got to remember that Corsair does have that 12-inch threat, to a threat extension to bring somebody over to him.
Yeah.
He's well in range to get some people, especially with Lure and with Trident tested to push people around, bring them closer to him.
Because he's standing where he is, he can bring people over to him. He doesn't need to go over to them.
Yep. Going through influence allocation in turn 2's maintenance phase. Players there just saying, "Do you fancy a drink?" He's like, "No, thank you."
I'll have one.
Yeah. So Siren's going first, and through his microphone head off there. No muffler for him anymore. Does one damage. Chip away.
Finishes her off. So that is 2 to Martin and 0 to Pat.
Yep. So Martin there scores 2. Martin scored 2, so we'll get that on the board now. And Siren there just sprinting forwards. I'm sprinting backwards, sorry. Stay safe away from the Brewers.
Yeah. Take what you got and skip out.
Yep.
Very similar to what we had in the Philip versus Vet Rage game, where you've kind of got a position where you've got players knowing what happens when they go in, and you have 2 cases of that in terms of like the first one I send in gets mobbed.
Yeah.
How do I start to get momentum without giving up a load in return?
Yeah, I mean, bringing Siren back is the correct call there, because it might be a less experienced player, maybe tempted to go, I've made the kill, and I'll go and generate some momentum from these squishy Brewers, and then you feed them someone. Yep. Good play from Martin there to bring it back.
How much influence was she given? Just the 2?
Just the 2. One for the sprint, one for the takeout.
Perhaps one for the attack,
yeah.
One for a backup.
Yeah.
And then you've got the one to sprint if you've got it left. If not, 7 inches is kind of far enough.
Yeah. This is kick into mash. Gets it successfully. And he keeps the... spends the momentum and dodges mash away with the ball. Really keeping it very safe.
Hashtag Brewer speed.
Yeah.
This is them working their way up the pitch.
Yeah. Thing is, I've obviously my experience of Brewers is quite dated now.
Mm-hmm.
But having played against Fish, you don't want to hang around in your half, because if they can get into your half and you're playing,
just surround you. You're kind of at this point where it's like, and you're just going to take the ball. All of this is for nothing.
Yeah. This is Tapper's activation that we saw just then. It was a pass, sprint forwards, and pay for commanding aura. So we've got this area of the field now that is dangerous for fishermen to enter. Yeah.
But it's fine. They don't need to enter it.
Yeah. No.
They can move that aura around as they please. They can just hook somebody. It's kind of like that thing where it looks like Pat's trying to wheel around to what would be his right.
Yes.
And I kind of think Corsair's planning on hooking one of them back over to the left.
Yeah. Looks like we're looking at a mash activation. I believe Tentacles there just sauntered forwards a little bit. Pass into the cat from mash. If he's he's missed it, so he scatters.
Rough seas, legendary shot.
I believe it went 2 to the 2, or 3 to the 2. Ball path ends up there. That may cross over.
We should be able to get it, and then if he wants, probably legendary shoot. If
it's a goal, isn't it?
I mean, he's got a choice of who he wants this on from the interception, if he wants it on anyone, but he's aware that...
The question is, does he go for that goal, or does he... If he's in range for it, he should go for it totally.
He must be in range.
So he wants to use the legendary for it, I guess.
A lot of it's the influence for me.
It looks like he's got 4 there, which is sprint.
I think he perhaps needs a dodge to make that work.
Does he... Yeah, rough seas is a loose free ball, isn't it? Is it?
No, when it's on a player.
It's on a player ass, that's why he leaves it out in the open.
But because Corsair's on fast ground, he has an 8-inch.
Is it fast? Oh, it is fast. Ah, I thought
that's why he was able to just walk in on.
Yes, yeah.
I believe it's fast.
No, it looks like fast.
But I'm assuming the measurements didn't match up. But yeah, had that been me, I might have looked for a charge on. Which player is that? Sitting in the middle.
Which one?
The one just sort of diagonally behind Scum.
I believe that's Hooper.
Yeah, like charge on Hooper. Take a dodge.
It's whether he's got the range to do the charge. I mean, people in chat were asking why didn't the ball snap onto a player there, because it just gives the ball to Corsair.
Yeah, he just hooks it. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he was within 9 of it. But the ball passed back over the other side of the pitch.
Yep. Ball passed back to Spigot there. So Scum there, snapping it, unsnapping it, giving it to Spigot. Spigot there, probably looking at a pass. Players there saying, Pat saying like this fast ground's really ruining all my plans because you're fast anyway and it's just speeding you up.
Yep. Players thinking, you want me to send Corsair in and score so you can kill him.
Yeah, and that's
I wonder if that means Martin definitely doesn't have man marking, so he suspects Pat does. I'm not sure.
Man marking is one of those ones we've seen quite a few times this tournament.
Yeah. It's a good card.
2 additional influence.
Players tend to be very aggressive with captains, and very often you'll take I can go in and get 4 or 6 VPs with my captain. If they die, I came out of that up. But as soon as man marking's in there and they're getting 2 influence on top of that,
makes the next turn very, very rough.
Yep. Man marking's grim when you get it with Honor Masons.
Yeah.
And you have that turn where, say you've scored a goal, you pop man marking, and then you pop legendary. It's like my nice 20-21 influence turn.
Enjoy that.
I have 1 left that I literally can't put out because everyone's maxed out. So I'll just...
Illegal allocation. Lose the game.
I lose the game. Oh, man.
Oh, I should have planned that better.
I'll take it. Shouldn't have scored.
So, Martin here just planning out the potential for the... He's got the momentum from the takeout earlier. It looks like he's here planning the sprint, rough seas, shot. Since Hooper's now activated by the looks of it, and there's no big bruiser there, now might be the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's an 8, I believe, so that would require
that is
the legendary.
I believe players there, Martin say, is that in? Pat said, I think it looks out, but let's just get a judge to make sure there's no disagreement between the players on a measurement.
It's a semi-final at the end of the day.
Yeah. So clocks have been paused whilst the judge has been... Yep, just short, so no goal on. Oh, so there's no walk, it's just a sprint.
He's just got a sprint instead, which means there's nothing else. It's a sprint.
It's this is the play. So
goes for
the drag. I think he wants to do the drag tackle, but it seems
doesn't have the influence for that if he had 4.
Well, he's bonus timed the drag in. Whether he's even going to go for it.
I think he might just boot it backwards.
Yeah. Takes him just out of an inch. Takes a momentous tackle. And hits again. He had more on him than 4. Takes a momentous knockdown. And still going with attacks, so maybe he had the full 6 and we couldn't see from our angle.
Well, it's kind of that.
2 damage on Spigot.
I'm now standing up here with the ball. You're starting to go all the way over there.
You've got to come back.
You've got to start wheeling back.
Yep.
Well, Spigot can probably get the ball off Corsair, but it's the counter attack that's the concern. Getting through close control and a counter attack.
Use ball's gone.
Yeah.
Just take the ball, pass it away immediately before the counter attack even comes in. Which would be a nice use to see ball's gone, because you so very rarely get to do. That is the dream.
Yep.
You like, don't care about your close control. I've got the ball, and it's now on my friend over there.
Yep.
Have your counter attack where you knock me down again. Spigot there, dragging into base contact. Spent the momentum to clear conditions. Swing with the bonus time. So I think he's looking for ball's gone.
Yep.
And the counter does come in. Yep, so we see ball's gone. And pass. 7-inch kick. Pass into the cat. Good choice, I think, there.
Yep. Keeps
it safe from rough seas next turn. Well, safe-ish from rough seas.
Safe. This is as safe as it can be.
Yeah. Gets it. So momentum generated. And it says he will take the dodge. By he means Spigot to get him out of. It's a really nice little play to escape the counter attack. Yes, it costs you your momentum, but you're down on your feet still. He has already moved. Twirled himself up just for the lols. We've still got a 3 influence grayscales here. I think this will be let's just generate some momentum, go first.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not 100% certain on what Pat's momentum looks like. Is he still on none?
Yes, I believe he puts his on his gold token, and he spent it when he took the
dodge.
Took
and
the
the bonus timed.
Yep.
Ball's gone. And is it just the 1 for the Corsair?
Yes, just 1. Oh, no, it must be more. He took all the knockdowns and things from Corsair. I think he's on at least 3.
Yeah.
So, for guys asking in chat, Martin, we expect him to be on about 3 momentum, and Pat seems to be on 0.
Yeah.
With 3 influence, still on grayscales, I reckon that's an easy 5 momentum plus for Martin, which will guarantee first turn. And I still think the goal is potentially on with takeout on Spigot. Maybe 1 or 2. 1 of 2 results. Unfortunately, we can't really see the momentum on the dice token, as it is a very bright area of the playing area, and it's on a white dice.
And we're looking at a smaller screen than usual.
Oh, we're going to get called out for that again. We start getting... we started saying, every time they mention the small screen, you've got to take a shot.
Oh.
Because we so frequently mentioned it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
A shot of what?
Oh, I know.
Water?
Yeah.
I could take that. Put hairs on my chest. Nice shot of water.
So it's an interesting thing for the Brewers because they've not done anything yet. We're at the end of turn 2, +2 for the Fisherman, and Fish win it with a roll of 2 from Pat there.
Martin does elect to go first.
Yeah, well, I think we're totally looking at a potential grayscales goal here. Grayscales there getting 4, confirmed by Martin. And that is tackle the ball off Scum. 5 dice needing 2 5s. Not terrible chance of getting that. Then you hit Spigot to dodge your way through. Get 2 momentum from that. Walk away. Get tapping range 4-dice shot on goal, needing 3s. Ball bounces back out, and you've got Sakana in front of his own goal.
Or is this entirely a game played on the clock where he gets the ball off Scum, hits Scum a few more times, passes it to Corsair, takes a 4-inch dodge, and just sits right in the bottom of the bottom corner.
Yeah.
Corsair on the ball, and just hides and just runs everyone else away. It's just like, I'm on 2.
Yeah.
I can be on 6 whenever I like.
Yeah.
Your move, Pat.
I mean, such a telegraph thing is to put the big stack on Tapper just means that you get 9 inches away, and
yeah, and at the moment, outside of grayscales,
that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Maybe tentacles if you really want to just do something with your influence.
By scoring, you extend that range. If you just go and sit on the ball on Corsair, you've got complete control of the ball.
So we do see attack on the cat, gets the tackle. Going for another.
It's risk-free outside of counter.
He only needs
range.
1-5. And he gets nothing. Says that wasn't Martin there talking into the field, basically saying that was a bad play. I should have moved and hit. 1 momentum for Pat for starting second. I mean, if he's still got 2 influence on him, he can definitely just walk.
Yeah, he can still. The goal is still on.
Yeah,
it's just the way the game's going. And I love scoring goals.
Yeah.
And when I play very quick, and I like just shoving the goals in, getting the VPs through as quick as possible. And either I win quick or I lose quick. And this is one where I think the correct thing to do is pass that to Corsair, take the 4-inch dodge, and just sit on the ball and just be like, I'm essentially on 6, and you know that.
I think we're seeing a goal run here. Momentous, where'd they go?
So he
Very
went
nice
for the hit.
Momentous, where they go. Tap in range to get within.
Yeah.
I mean, he's measuring 3 inches. That's how close he wants to be. And then a shot on goal with one momentum generated.
Yep.
In 3s.
And
gets it.
So that is
6-0 to Martin. People calling you out as dull Alex for that play that you suggested.
I'm dull for the right play.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
Well, we'll see if it was the right play.
Yeah, I mean, the fish are spread out pretty well. They're
away from the tapper 9 inches.
But that tapper is, because of that goal, that tapper 9 inches is tapper 13 inches. They are spread, though. That's the biggest part. Like, you're going to get one, but you're only going to get one.
And that's a maybe if you get one. Let's have a look, see. Oh, scatter backwards. That's just what the Brewers always love to do. Run away from their targets.
Yeah.
So, I've been in this position many a time with the Brewers against Fish, and it is a rough game because you are, especially with the Corsair lineup, you are one takeout and a goal away. Fish scores so easily.
Yeah, Legendary still on the table.
Yeah,
I mean, this might be like a.
I dare say it, but is this going to be a
hook in and beat Spigot to death, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
At least. That's nearly death, and you can't get him out of there.
No,
unless you start passing the ball back over there to get him out, and at that point you're relying on unreliable passes, which give the ball straight back to the fish if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm. That was a bonus time blind onto Corsair there. It's good play, good use of Hemlock there to get that blind out.
Mm-hmm. But blind is bad. Mm-hmm. That's a thing.
Blind. But both teams have blinds. Yeah, and blind is incredible. Like -2/-2 move, -2 tack on either of these captains is such a hindrance.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, I would be shocked to see a blind in reply on Tapper because Tentacle's got no influence. So I'd be really shocked to see a blind.
That would just be cheating.
I'm just like, I get my goal influence now, right?
Yeah.
Boop. So yeah, the beatdown that could happen on Spigot, neutered by the blind.
Yep. You can say neutered, like attack 4 hitting a def 3/1 model, he can still get the knockdown really reliably, and still just start putting that 1 momentous damage in. I mean, Spigot's not got the tough hide, he becomes a 2/1.
Yeah, that's true.
Martin saying, right, well, if Corsair's blind, he's not going to join the fight, he's going to leave. And you're not going to get to beat up on him.
I know we've discussed previously that sort of, when you're playing at the higher level, when you get to that point where you're aware of when it is worth and not worth spending
committing,
influence, and just being like, yeah, sure,
like,
he had like 3 or 4 on him, but
I'll dump that, that's fine.
I'm not letting you have my captain.
The thing is, so many of these players are safe. Like Grayscales is safe from these players. The ones with 2-inch melee are all stacked over on the other side of the pitch.
Yep.
Sakana can get out of there. If things look rough, he just get out of there. You can sacrifice tentacles. It's 1VP. I see here some passing of the ball around. It looks like we might see that threat extension on Tapper. This being, I can't quite see how many is on Siren, so dodging 4 inches forward might just mean Fisherman get the ball back.
Yeah.
He is taking the dodge.
Back into the ball.
Yeah, going back into the ball. He's looking for this Corsair takeout, but that's just what Martin wants. Like, you can hang around with that ball near your own goal.
And everyone now run out. I mean, this is all. Martin's fine with everything going on.
Yeah,
He's just like, I'm 6 up, and I'm at the point where ultimately I can just throw my influence on the table. I don't care where it goes. I'm just going to keep running away from you.
Yeah, and
I'll just kind of a similar speed.
Yeah.
And because I started far enough away, you're never going to catch up with me. And if you do, it'll be the one player that you took a 4-inch boost that will catch up with me.
And they've got the ball.
And then I'll just take the ball off them.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Grayscales is going to be amazing for in this game, is just nipping in, taking the ball, where'd he go through all those melee zones, out, have a shot on goal. Forward ice pass to Spigot is successful. This is Tapper here.
Takes the dodge to where that proxy base was placed.
And then charging into Corsair. So he's finally caught Corsair, spending a lot of momentum to get there and do it. Going in base to base. And yeah, as mentioned in the comments, the closer Martin can get to the edge of the pitch, the happier he is, because it opens up those 2VP avenue through Jack.
Yep. And
with Tapper's roll there, takes Commanding Aura from the charge, which is a good way to pay for it, effectively.
Yep.
It costs 2, you spent 2, you might as well take it if you get it. No counterattacks come in.
And this is just where we start to see the sequence of you pass to you, then you pass to you, then you pass back to, and you just sort of start adding 8 inches to everybody.
Yeah. This is the 3 up to 4, back down to 3 momentous damage. Again, 3 gets through. Last one. Yeah. So that's 1 damage gets through, and he triggers Sturdy.
Yep. What's the range on Seduction since the...
I believe 6 inches.
So she's got a 13-inch threat on that from where Spigot is, right?
15. She stood on fast ground.
She is stood on fast ground.
If that's her. Well, I think she went further back, didn't she? I think you're right, 13. I think the fisherman player at the far back is Siren, and that one is Jack with his trident down and fingers up.
Yeah, it's out. I think that's out of range.
Yeah. But the lure, we can see the Jack play come in here. So, Pat quite rightly saying there, I put him in base to base. The way circles work, you have to be on the 180-degree line for him to even move. So Martin then saying, well then I'll
be there.
Change. I'll be there then. Thank you very much for pointing that out. What Pat could have done there is let Martin roll a dice and go, cool. I don't move, because that's how circles work.
Yep.
So good sportsmanship from Pat there, even though it could potentially just be
dead tapper.
Dead tapper. Although I don't think it did anything. I think he missed.
Yeah, I think he missed.
I guess that's karma paying off instantly for Pat there. I think we're looking at the exact same thing with Hooper here now.
Yeah, Hooper make his way over there.
Yeah. So that's Spigot, pass to Hooper, put up the heroic, and tool him up. We're going for the big wind up on Hooper here, and then jogs out the way, making sure he stays within 4 inches of Hooper at the end of it all. Or maybe not. Don't forget it, Pat. Come on.
I don't think he's forgot it. He's just trying to work out what he...
Yeah. There we go. Thinking where the best place for it to be is, where best place for Spigot is. The only thing is, we're not going to get the full wind up on Hooper because the charge in to get the range will mean that...
Yeah, ideally, once you've got the damage buff stacked, you want to be making multiple attacks rather than...
having to set yourself up with the knockdown. What's Jack's play here? Do you reckon? Just get into position to... If he's touching the fast ground, he's got a 10-inch sprint. There is no momentum for the fisherman, though, so there's no trident tested on the table.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, truth be told. I mean...
If there was trident tested, I'd sprint up into that area and just do it and push Spigot out of the way. Or push Hooper even further backwards. And the range on it's 3 inches from him, so there's 13 inches to try and get round. Yeah, I think you could definitely get Spigot.
Well, I would imagine so, I'm just not sure.
Doesn't really seem to push him away from what he wants. Yeah, just moving up, getting into position.
Yeah. I mean, if the trident tested was on, I think you'd run round as close to Spigot as you could, get the line so directly away, shoves him directly in front of Hooper, and just block that charge lane.
Yes.
Be like, that's good for me.
So Fisherman still have Sakana to go, and it looks like we've got Hooper left for Hooper and the cat, possibly.
Cat heading
Oh no,
in.
the cat's just shed-like in, walking in, thanks to the super fast movement.
And this is kind of exactly what we're talking about in terms of as soon as the Brewers got the ball, they can quite easily switch which direction they want to go. And then just sort of start slowly, one by one. You've committed this guy. He's dead.
Yeah.
You've committed this guy. He's dead.
Yep. But if the trade-off is committing for a goal, that's a trade-off the Fishermen are happy to make.
Yep. Yep.
And Grayscales still remains such an unattractive target. I mean, the plan might be here for Hooper to go and deal with Grayscales. You can get it to base, most likely, thanks to the faster speed. He'll still be within... Hooper will be within commanding aura, which is the benefit.
So Hooper passes to Mash, so leaving that ball all the way over there.
Gets it. Keep the momentum, but use it to heroic. So we've got True Grit on the table.
So now will be attack
7
basic, right?
True Grit is one of those fantastic heroics.
It's one of those that you know it's a good heroic when it makes you sad when you're doing something without it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like, for me, that's like the sign of a good heroic is when I'm like, oh, I don't have that up.
Yeah. It always saddens me when I have to activate Hooper before...
You have to make an attack before you have the momentum before you've got the
I should be
Grit.
tack 7. So Pat there just trying to measure, see if he can engage both Corsair and Grayscales. He wants to do both.
No, he's trying to not be.
And now he's not. He wanted to check see if he could get base to base with Grayscales and have Corsair there. So he's got the options to knock down both.
Got it.
But he doesn't have it. So 14 dice charge. So really you want the wrap for the knockdown.
And then pop some damage in too.
Yeah. And I think he's got that there. Yeah, so that's 3, up to 4, up to 5, back down to 4, but I think he might have forgotten all the bonuses there, because he's only marked 3 on the card. And then, with the wrap, takes the knockdown. Players there just discussing
the damage amount.
Yeah, he is definitely knocked down there. So clock's been paused. Players just going to sort it out. Now this is one of the pains where we're not in the room to go, yeah, you did. So players here. Pat is correct in what he's saying in our ears. He's saying, I charged in, I commanding, I did damage 3 times, then I knocked him down to trigger sturdy. Martin's going, I don't think you did. But I think he there accepts.
Yep.
So nice play from Martin there. I mean, he's forgotten to put the sturdy use token down. So I think he's done it correctly. So
yeah. And a big part there is the blind coming in to just be like, I wouldn't waste your time counter-attacking.
Yeah.
You've got 2 crowd outs and you're blind. You're rolling 2 dice.
Yeah. I have 1 armor.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, you won't knock me down.
The push is actually probably the arguably the better result.
Push is the best result on if you can push someone out your melee zone on a counter-attack. That is more important than knocking someone down.
Yep.
Now that the game starts with momentum for people, there's just no point knocking down really anymore on a counter-attack unless they've not got momentum.
Yep.
Brewer's going first, so I expect to see a severely damaged or even potentially dead Corsair at the end.
I think dead is relatively likely.
You reckon?
Yeah. So he's taken, I believe...
So Tapper will be rolling...
I think he's taken 9 damage so far.
12.
12.
12 damage, I believe. And your question is, do you go with Hooper or Tapper first?
Tapper.
Tapper. Be rolling 7 dice.
I don't know, actually, probably... Now he's on the floor.
Hooper's got the immediate...
Yeah, now he's on the floor, Hooper.
If he's taking 12 damage, how much health does that leave Corsair on?
6.
Leaves him with 6. I don't know, maybe you do go with Tapper, because Tapper, from that angle...
Just turns around and gets grayscales.
You can...
But I don't think he can get enough done to grayscales, where grayscales can't just skip away.
Yes, very true.
And then at that point, your position for commanding aura is
not
no
there.
Man's land.
Yeah.
Granted, he may be entirely happy with that.
Yeah. I think getting rid of Corsair, getting rid of grayscales, or putting the damage on grayscales so Dress has to just skip away.
And it's kind of getting the momentum foothold, I guess.
Yeah. You know, you start the turn with probably 4 momentum after it all happens.
Yep.
Maybe 5. No, commanding aura's not momentous, and then you want your momentous damage coming through.
And then the momentum for the takeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Nope. So we're starting off passing to Mash. I guess the idea there is you can't risk grayscales just going and taking the ball away from Spigot and scoring again. So 10-0's a rough place to be.
Yep.
What this does allow, though, is for Corsair to stand up, reactivate Sturdy when he's on his feet, knock down.
Bonus time blind on grayscales.
Oh, it's Hemlock activating. And he gets it. Oh, this is rough. Blind captains who want to beat things up are never fun. I believe he's put the blind token down on Hemlock, not Corsair.
I think the blind was grayscales, not Corsair.
Oh, really?
At least that's where the point seemed to go. But they're both kind of in a similar vicinity, so I'm not entirely certain. I don't think Corsair, with the influence allocated, I don't know if blind
the
is particularly valuable on him. It was on grayscales.
Yeah, it was on grayscales. Thank you, Pat. Corsair punching the cat. Does 1 damage. Yes, he doesn't want the counter-attack to take away Sturdy. Momentous knockdown on the cat. You only had 2 influence on him. Surely you spend that momentum now to heal him. Or not. That seems a mistake in my book.
I don't know how much...
Unless he healed to begin with, because he was going second to start with the momentum. We see the pay for Commanding Aura. Two hits. Takes away Sturdy.
and like, I'll put the token down this time.
Yeah. Three. So that was 8 health. 8 health left. Down to 5 health left after that one. By another attack. Again, 3 more damage. 2 health left. That's not a finger gun. That's the German 2. So we're just watching the dice rolls come through here. 3 momentous damage. That is the takeout. Oh no. Oh, he also got the knockdown, I think.
I think I heard Pat
just
say,
left him.
I don't think I'm going to kill him here.
Fair enough. I mean, what you might do is you might just leave him for the top of the next turn. He can be. He's already activated, so he can only be healed back up to 5. You do that at the start of the next turn.
I've got a nice little momentum pot over there.
Yeah.
The threat on goal is blind, and then I'm going to move over here and engage him. Still got Hooper to go if he wants to finish him off with Hooper.
Yeah. And takes the unpredictable movement. And Mine says, well, it's going to be Grayscales next.
Yep, because otherwise Spigot's going to go and get him.
Yeah. That's one of those interesting moments where you think, was the unpredictable worth it there? Tapper wasn't going to hit him. Yes, he's engaging him, but he can just readily go out of there.
I think he's looking at it to get his... It's basically
just free movement.
Using that to get his 2 inches he lost from blind back.
Yeah, that's fair. 1 inch momentous dodge away.
Like all the influence over that end of the pitch has been used, and I think Grayscales is going to start to head over towards the ball.
Yeah.
And then Mash is just going to run away, don't get me wrong, but...
Cool. Grayscales there staying more than an inch away from Hemlock. Buys an attack. Gets a 1 inch momentous dodge. Blind here. Not affecting the Fisherman. They only wanted to get one result at any time anyway.
Yep. Yeah, the only real-time blind gives you a huge amount of value in terms of attacks is Corsair, because he wants more than one result.
Yeah. Another 1 inch momentous dodge.
More than one success, sorry, not more than one result.
Yeah. And the last attack. Gets it. 1 inch momentous dodge. And keeping Hemlock engaged. And after all that, 6 momentum for the Fisherman.
I'm guessing he's hoping to be within one of the goal. It looks like he is to me, but I didn't see him measure it, so I don't know if that was planned.
To try and get within cover. Yeah.
Grayscale was always bringing the population of Snapshotville up to 1.
Yeah. It was always going to be a grindy one whenever you see Brewers on the table, especially against Fishermen where they can't.
And it's not a particularly grindy Corsair team.
No.
It's kind of a... It sounds a bit stupid, but it is a very shark lineup with Corsair at the front of it.
Yep.
I say that. You've got no Salt. You've got Tentacles instead. You've got Jack.
Jack over Hag. Hag seems like such a good player for both captains. You know, you push Shark's extremes up to really extreme, and...
I think the having to take damage on the Legendary against
Brewers.
It's such a cagey game where VPs are so sparse. It's just, I'm assuming a Risk Martin didn't feel like was worthwhile.
That's fair. Then also robbing the Brewers of influence when they're tough to get going in the first place is a pretty safe thing to do. Spigot there using his heroic. Walking into base because he gets his 7-inch walk when he's heroic. And Maya's like, oh, yeah, dodge used. Great. Three. Yeah, so rolling 5 down to 4. He was within the inch of cover.
He's his bonus time to get back.
Bonus time. He gets 2, and there was a counter attack declared. So 2 damage to Grayscales. Grayscales shrugs that off.
Martin with such a such a fish player response. I don't care.
It's in base to base, so he needs all 3 hits to get the double dodge away. He's going to bonus time it up to 4 because if he gets it, then he robs.
Yeah, he's free, home and free, and he.
Pat there saying, "You've rolled too many dice.
You're blind.
You're blinded." He's like, "Oh, so sorry.
I'll re-roll them all.
I'll re-roll everything. 4 dice. That's just enough as well.
That's what he needed.
Guess what he needed? So takes a double dodge away. This is the problem with Brewers going into fish, is that the fish have those double dodges on 2 hits. Their low defense allows that to happen, even on a blind player.
Yeah.
That's Spigot's turn. Dead in the water.
Yeah, like tool up someone that's already activated, like
yeah.
kind of nothing. Momentum down for 2 inches of movement. Scum stands up, clock back over to Martin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't quite see the clock, but I think it's safe to say that the Brewers, I think Pat will be lower on time.
Yeah.
He's had the thinking activations.
Siren zips away, nice 9-inch jog.
Yes.
To that fast ground down at the bottom of the pitch.
So just going through the chat. Nothing's really happened in the chat besides Woo go Grayscales. People thought there might be a Grayscales goal on, but with the blind, the reduced movement, the reduced tack, it's just not on.
Yeah.
And what's definitely not on is that double dodge away from Spigot. That was well thought out by Martin to see the bonus time, see the double dodge on the playbook.
I don't know if I'd say well thought out by the fact that he forgot he was blind and rolled 6 dice. So at that point, he's probably questioning why Pat's done this. And he's like, this kind of the odds support me getting the double dodge away. Are you just hoping to get lucky? And then when he rolls the 6, and Pat's like, no, you only get
Escalation League pack.
4. Oh man,
he's hoping to get lucky. I think there is one lucky in use at the WTC.
Great segue, man.
Thanks. You're welcome.
But he did get incredibly lucky there. Grayscales is a menace.
Yeah,
an absolute menace.
For Brewers, he is one of the worst to come up against. I mean, yes, he's Def 4, and it's pretty easy to knock him down with the actual bruisers. Mm-hmm. And Pat was unlucky there to not hit it. I mean, 50-50 chance of doing it. Legitimate 50-50 chance of doing it. Missed it and was punished for it. 3 influence gone to waste.
Yeah. I love seeing Grayscales used really aggressively like this.
Yeah.
It's... take advantage of a 2-inch unpredictable movement model. Throw him down the throats of models that can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then just don't use that unpredictable until you need to.
Yeah. It's also one of those things that we talked about, or at least I've talked about at length with people just when discussing guild identities, is that the fish don't really care if they take damage. What matters is that they're alive.
Yep.
I mean, the only time it matters is when they're on 1 or 2, and maybe you're going to get a parting blow or a counter-attacker that will kill them.
Yeah, and it's all about that. I need to be most concerned that my players involved in my goal run are alive.
Yeah.
The other people...
Yeah.
You got to kill 6 of them. I've only got to score 3 goals.
Yeah. And so, like, when Grayscales there took the 2 damage, he's like, all right, sure, I'm not knocked down. Don't care.
Yep.
I have 12 more health.
As it is.
I can take 6 more of those hits. Just please don't knock me down.
And, I mean, I believe momentum-wise, fish are up.
Oh, yeah, after that Grayscales activation, for sure.
And, I mean, Mash moved into cover there because he knows that Grayscales either needs to get into base-to-base or where they go in, which isn't going to be a good idea. The where they go is what you want to get out to get back in goal range.
Yeah, because you need to hit him. I mean, Mash has got one of the best counter-attack results of how's that?
Yeah.
4 inches away and you're knocked down.
Yep. So I think we may end up seeing possibly a charge on Mash as a first activation with Grayscales.
Charge on Mash, get the tackle, hope for maybe even the wrap, the low defense.
Well, it's more you charge to get in to the cover.
yourself.
So that the
counter
attack is losing the same dice you are.
Oof. Oh. So that was a charge from Jack there on Hooper. Double push. Double push away. Martin, they got quite excited, thought it was double push and the knockdown.
I'm intrigued by how much Martin uses Jack.
Yeah?
Or if this was a hag seems like a bad idea, but I want the reposition. I have Jack in my 10.
Yeah, for that.
In you go.
Yeah. It's an interesting one that if Pat takes Corsair out, Corsair comes back on and threatens the ball immediately again.
So he does take the knockdown.
Yep. Knockdown on Hooper. Hooper doesn't care. He's going to.
No. What he's going to do is he's going to now push him.
Yeah.
Because with no momentum,
the
Corsair kills off.
Yeah.
You just get, now with the momentum, the Trident tested, with him on the floor and no momentum to clear it. Yeah. Corsair survives.
And so all the Brewers players have acted.
Judging on what they're saying, Martin should be playing Brewers. I'm not entirely certain he's overcome last night's jubilation.
No, he forgot he had a fully stacked, he was like, heavily stacked Sakana.
I was just like, do you want to move Sakana? And he's like, I do have Sakana. And he's got influence. I gave him loads. What am I doing?
We see a charge in here on Hemlock. 2 hits. Meant to dodge. It's what fishermen love to do. If there's nothing else to do, I'll just dodge around, get a ton of momentum.
They're one of the more satisfying teams to play for those that hate it when they have sort of attacks where they get nothing done.
Yeah.
Because generally you're looking for two, assuming one armor, you're looking for two successes every time, and I get to do something, positive.
Yeah. Next attack. Another momentous dodge.
Bearing it on goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrifying position when you're suspecting that you're going to be, 10-0 down against a team that's more than capable of getting one takeout.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't protect my players and the ball.
No, as I said right at the beginning, having played the Brewer matchup into Fish so many times, it is such a rough thing. And when you are playing as this game has happened, and what I was worried for with Pat, when you play against Fish deep in your own half, nowhere is safe for that ball. I mean, Pat has not progressed past the halfway point at any point in this game. No. Mash, he's done very well. And I think he's fallen into that trap of, I need to kill the ball, I need to kill the ball, I need to kill the ball. And what we saw James Long do against Bryce, the best way to kill the ball against these fishermen, sprint past them, kick it past their goal.
Martin's had that pretty well covered. That's why he's kept
had
Sakana back there the whole time. Yeah.
So we just had news in that Tim from Germany 1 has beaten Alex Bots.
12-7.
So if Martin can seal this game, then USA are out of the running. So we shall see. And obviously that information will be passed down now, I assume, through the team to Martin. And might be like, right, so I've got a 6-0 lead at the moment here. I need to capitalise on this.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, we can't actually see the clock, unfortunately, but we're relatively certain that Pat has used more time than Martin.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and assume that Tim is still very drunk, because that's where his secrets are hidden.
Yeah, I mean,
his hidden power.
I don't think anyone knows his secrets, even Timmy. It's like he gets possessed by the booze.
It's like by a spirit.
Yeah. By a spirit. Nice. Well done.
I did a Giblin joke.
He did.
For shame.
How proud are you, though?
I'm so disappointed in myself. Next I'll be saying, get lucky.
You did say it. That's why I made the joke.
It's Burglar Bill all over again. But far more corporate.
Regarding the other game, it was that Timmy beat Alex Bots. So
yes, 12-7 was the scoreline.
If Martin wins this one, then
USA 1 will be out of the running to win the
it.
Well, the USA in general.
USA will
we
be
have in both across the semi-finals. There is England 1, Germany 1 and 2, and USA 1. So we don't know how the other game's going, but we could be shaping up for another England-Germany football-based rivalry.
Yes. People saying, so it's 2-0 for Timmy versus Strictly the Worst podcast.
And the alternative outcome, assuming Martin goes on to win this, would be the Germans are guaranteed to win.
To win, yeah. I mean, if Germany beats England, then it's double German final, and Germany have won the WTC.
Yep.
It's just which team gets to say,
I reckon
we did it.
That would be a surprisingly heated series of games. With Germany 2
Germany
wanting to be like,
because
like you're number 1.
Exactly. So Germany 2 then have with the underdogs, we inverted commas should lose this game, but if we don't, we're number 1 next year.
Yep.
So coming back to the game here, it looks as if the fish lost that roll. No, won the roll off. I would assume.
He's just trying to work out whether he's better off going with Sakana or Grayscales.
Yeah.
The right answer is you go and get the ball with Sakana and you score a snapshot with Grayscales.
Yeah, it's whether that's 8 inches away. If Sakana charges in, tackles the ball, or just walks in because he's super fast, walks in, tackles the ball, survives the counter attack, and then can just put it in himself after dodging away.
Nah, that's boring.
Yeah. And yeah, we're seeing the charge with Sakana.
And then take them is a non-momentous tackle.
Yep.
But
it's one of the things that if Pat declares the counter attack, then you just take the dodge and hope he doesn't hit the house at.
So we just take the counter attack.
Yep.
Counter attacks have been working very well for Martin, not so well for Pat.
Correct. So 8 dice for Martin, looking at 3s and 0.
Yep.
And Martin, just to clarify before you roll the dice, I'm in base to base, so you're aware. 4 hits. So he does take the tackle. Interesting. And the counter attack does absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And next attack, you hit. You look for the dodge.
Whatever. You're not.
Yeah.
You have backup plans.
Yeah. But if you do the dodge and you can take the shot and goal, you do that. So he takes the 1 inch momentous dodge. Still wants to keep himself in cover if possible. And then he has a shot on goal. 2 dice. And I believe he's missed it there.
He did miss the shot.
So the shot is missed. Grayscales can just intercept that and have another go, because none of the players around there can really...
Mash can probably wing round there.
Yeah. So, no momentum for the fisherman.
But Pat is more than aware of, like, yeah, there's a Grayscales goal coming.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble still.
If he gets the Grayscales goal, that's 10-0. Like,
yeah. And at that point, like, I'm not suggesting this is the thing that Martin should do, but Martin's reaction to missing that shot was, if that went in, the game's over. Yeah. I think he's just going to run everyone away.
Yeah.
Or not even necessarily run everyone away. Just be like, do you know what? Help yourself to all of these players. Feel free to mop up, because you're not going to get to 12 before I get 2 VPs from your clock.
Yeah. So that was Corsair taken out. So Pat is on 2. Martin's still on 6. But I would expect to see a Martin goal in the next activation.
You would expect so, yeah.
This is Tapper going in on Jack now. Gets the knockdown on Jack.
Martin just like, yep.
Yep.
Keep them coming.
So
What's the clock like? We have the exact same view of the clock as you. So
yeah, so
no idea.
We have no.
We're speculating that Pat is significantly lower on the clock than Martin, but we're going to get someone to go and push the clock into view, or at least get times for us.
I mean, the thing is, if Grayscales gets this goal, Jack's pretty safe. I mean, it doesn't look like Hooper's got the 3 influence, but I reckon Jack can take one turn of...
Even if you can't, don't think it matters.
No.
I don't think it... Because at that point, Martin he's like, thank you for letting me reposition all my models in the far right-hand corner or far left-hand corner.
Get your goal, I'll have the ball back. Yeah,
You've got
it's rough for Pat, let's put it that way.
It really
things aren't looking great for Team USA right now. So, over to Martin's activation, and surely we just see Grayscales poke, goal.
Doesn't have to rush it.
No, that's true.
Could go with Jack,
Yep.
get some momentum.
So, on the clocks, it looks like 11 minutes to Martin and 15 minutes to Pat, so not quite what we were thinking. But I still think... Interesting. So Martin there is spying out the Martin. So Martin's looking at the Jack activation, but it's just said, I'm just going to go Grace Hills after thinking about it. Momentous anything. Second attack.
Takes another momentous anything.
Momentous result. On a third. Oh, hey, look. It's a momentous anything that he chooses.
So he takes 3 momentous somethings and takes a shot and bonus times it. 4 dice.
4 dice, needing a single 3+.
Goal.
Gets the goal.
And Martin is on 10.
And plays Vengeance on him. If he can get to him.
That's a peculiar one. I mean, it's probably not going to score again, so you chuck it down when you can.
Yeah. But you think do it initially, and if maybe you forgot about it. We don't know.
It could be that he was holding it, assuming that Sakana or Corsair might be going for a goal because he can more reliably lock those down and make use of it.
Yeah. But imagine if that Vengeance token... I mean, the way I always see it is that if you've got that card, you might as well spend it because you don't know what's going to happen in the game. If that Vengeance token was on him when Spigot went in earlier, that's Grayscale's guaranteed on the floor.
Guarantee the results. Yep, this is also true.
Yeah. Agreed, Steve. Agreed. Work harder, Alex. Giblin has his hands full.
No.
So ball's being knocked out, and Fisherman on 2 momentum now. So 3 in the 6, 3 inches direction 6.
Where do you think these last 2 VPs come from?
Another goal, I think.
Maybe.
I think. With Corsair off, and he's going to be a while getting back in, and the tough players are probably where he wants to come back on to take the benefit of the fast ground. I think Corsair's probably out of this for a turn or 2, and
I'm not sure if any of the players come back into the actual fray.
Scrum. No, I don't think they do either. I think they go to the other side of the pitch and go.
If he even brings them back on.
No, he does. He does. All right, so we just had updates from the Germany-England game. Germany are looking like they're going through unless good old JJ can pull out some magic and bring it back for Team England.
No, so it's Germany. At least one German team in the final.
Yeah. Spigot's still looking pretty healthy. He's not been targeted by any abilities. I mean, he is the easiest one to kill, so that's why...
He hasn't been whittled down at all yet.
You'd look at him as the last 2 VPs. But
and I think that is Jack has 2 health left currently.
Yeah.
And Jack taken out, so 10-2.
Jack taken out, so 10-4.
Sorry, 10-4.
And this is one of the problems I have with Brewers is that once I've got these 2 takeouts that I've set up for, the next ones are too far away for Tapper and Hooper to get to.
Yep.
Like, if Martin's smart, which if he's on these tables, he must be. You don't bring Jack and Corsair back on that side of the pitch. You bring them on the other side, and Tapper and Hooper then have to spend a turn slogging their way over to them.
Is this turn 4?
I believe so. I know, long game, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens with Brewers.
It's more the time left on clocks, given that this is nearly been... We're going to be going into turn 5 with likely around 10 minutes on both clocks.
Yep. I believe we saw a mash attack on Sakana there, which was free counter attacked, double dodging, just around, staying in cover, making it a little bit more. And it looks like the clock's been forgotten to be clicked back onto Pat's clock there after the counter attack. I believe Pat there voluntarily switched it back over to him. So good sportsmanship from Pat this game. He's allowed Martin a few sort of almost takebacks, as it were.
He sort of made a declaration of something he's doing. He sort of said, if you're intending on doing that, the kind of trigonometry doesn't support that. No. So if you want to be doing that, you need to move this way.
Yeah, and then voluntarily putting the clock back on himself is just good play all round. Yep. I mean, there have been times when you notice the player's not put the clock back onto you, and you have that internal dilemma over you're like,
do I do that, or do I just leave that going? Because that's nothing to do with me.
This is your clock management, but I'll feel dirty if I win because your clock management's been bad. I've not beaten you. You've been bad.
I've seen you play dirty, Giblin.
I know I have. I have done. I'll put my hands up. I have played for time. I've seen it done. But I always have that internal dilemma, and then I squash it down into a bottle and throw it away.
If I've used any more than 20 minutes on my clock in a tournament game, I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
That's generally I've either done something wrong. As soon as that 20 minutes expires, I just assume I've lost.
But Alex, you're winning 10-0, but
it takes 20 minutes. Can't go on with this. Yeah. Broken my own rules.
Yeah.
What's the quickest game across both clocks you've ever had?
I think it's for about 20 minutes or so with my fisherman.
7 minutes 56 seconds.
Nice work.
With both clocks added up. That was a lovely quick round.
Yeah. Remember,
we love you, Season 1 Midas. I loved you, Season 1 Midas.
I remember talking to James Long about his quickest game, and he said it would have been the start of Season 3, 8 activations with Alchemist and New Midas, because people weren't expecting him to do what he did. And he was like, yep, I scored at the end of turn 1, immediately in turn 2, and then again. It was like, wow.
Yep, I think that's pretty much how mine went. I think it was the Midas Vitriol Mist firing line.
Going back there with Spigot charging in. I believe the unpredictable triggered by Mash.
Yep.
Swing coming in. Not a charge, sorry. We get the knockdown on Grayscales, so this is Spigot's time to shine with Flawed. This time 2 extra dice. Looking for 3s. Wrap Machine. 5 damage, 3 from the... Yeah. Oh, so guys on the stream saying that Grayscales there hadn't used Unpredictable yet. Interesting. And choice of going first or second goes to Pat. He's got so much momentum. I mean, he could go first, go with Spigot, finish off Grayscales. That's one problem dealt with.
This is true. And there's nothing really Martin can do to directly affect and score here. Since that second Grayscales goal.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of assumed that the next 2 VPs were coming from clocking out, and obviously Pat was at that point all right on the clock, and I'm assuming what we're going to see here is just Martin just hiding players and just being like dun, dun, and just super quickly rattling through the clock, sort of...
Just take your time, take your time. So, news just in. JJ lost.
Yep.
That is Team England out of the running for... No, not out of the running. Still 2 games going on, but looking likely to be a Germany 2 in the final.
Yes.
Ah.
I don't believe we have any update on the other side. So we know that Tim managed to beat Alex Botts 12-7. Yep. So we know Germany have one win.
Oh, we see Jack coming back on near Smash Bros. Oh, Germany 2, it sounds like all through. Pat there saying, "Hey, you've got more movement there if you want that."
Go ahead. Yeah, you come. As far as if you want, you can just like put yourself in the middle of the table. I'm fine with it. All of your players, you just pick them up and put them in the middle. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, get back in the mixer. Stream just clarified to us how Spigot got in there on grayscales. He passed the ball to Hemlock, dodged 4 inches in.
Got you. Okay.
So it was not a misplay by Martin. It's just us not paying attention and started chatting away. Classic us.
Classic us. Yeah. Such good commentary. What's going on, guys? Classic Chris Kamara.
I know.
We'll go to Chris Kamara. Get a red card.
Has there?
What? I thought it was just a sub.
Oh, yeah.
Let me count them up on your hands, Cammy. What? Yeah, there's 10. I didn't realise there was a red card. Jamie, dear. Alex, Martin, Martin and Pat's game finished half an hour ago. Yeah. What? Oh.
What are they doing?
Yeah. They're just talking and throwing dice at each other.
Oh. So, I know we were saying it was looking rough, but could we see a resurgence from the Brewers?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough. Wow. I would say we see a dead Spigot.
Yep.
Takes him up to 6.
Yep.
They are...
Yeah, you could get to 10 all.
Pat is now ahead on clock.
You could get to 10 all.
Yeah. And then
the fish probably score.
Yeah.
Or you reach a point where you clock out and fish just kill the ball.
But
and just hope that that activation falls nicely for them when the clock out happens.
Well, I think the clock out would be very important because the fish team can just sprint clock over. The Brewers team need to do things to get places. See Mash activating here. Just
is that Siren? Which player is that? Or Sakana?
Sakana, I believe. Siren's at the back here with tentacles next to the barrels. Dodging out of melee. Why didn't Spigot use the rest of his influence movement after taking out grayscales? Do you reckon? Just time?
Possibly time. Possibly knowing that he's the softest target and just like, I need to keep him safe.
Keep him safe, yeah.
Because if I make any slip up here, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with I agree with the Twitch chat here that there is potential for the resurgence of Brewers.
Yeah. I think the thing it's going to take is...
we're up to 10-6, by the way, on scores.
It's all about being very precise. Like, Pat's been playing pretty clean, checking for as much as he can, and a lot of what's happened ended up with very fortunate dice rolls going towards Martin.
Yeah.
But we are at a point where, forgetting about a measurement from somewhere can sort of
do it all
start trickling it through.
Yeah.
So I believe we're going for a charge here from Sakana.
And
he's going to take a parting blow through Mash and just hope he doesn't get it.
Gets the knockdown. Gets the knockdown.
I mean, he kind of had to go for it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it wins in the game, for sure. So Sakana's knocked down there, out of melee zone. And again, Twitch helping us out massively. Mash killed Grayscales. Spigot is yet to activate.
Oh yeah, this is another turn. We meant last turn.
Sure. I didn't.
What? Oh, you didn't?
I'm an idiot.
Oh, because you had said it does Spigot go first to get rid of Grayscales.
Yeah.
And you just assume that
I assumed that would happen because I'm a bad player.
Okay. Same.
So now Spigot's going to activate.
Yep.
And look at that. There's a knockdown player right in front of him.
Okay. So convenient. So yeah, that could well be game there.
Yeah. I mean,
take out, and then you see the goal happen.
Time on the clock's looking at 7 minutes to Martin, and just entering 6 minutes for Pat.
Yeah, I think the right play there was run Sakana away.
Yeah, as guys in chat saying that Sakana activation has turned the game on its head, because now, as you say,
there's
a take.
3 VPs just sat there and didn't have to put anything into the setup.
Nope, take out there for free. Not for free, got the rest of the turn
blood
to do
the
it.
Head, perhaps.
Yeah. See, eyes too focused on goal.
Yeah, I think if you just kind of start to move everything backwards, and you're just like, please take as long as you possibly can with your moving everyone forward, because then I'm going to start a wild goose chase around the board.
So, Tapper here, 11 on the charge. There's plenty of hits. 1 damage, and Commander Nora.
Do we have any news from the other Germany 1, USA 1 game?
We can check on the website. Live results. No individual pairings yet. No, still going on. Still very much in the balance. Another swing going in. Takes a momentous push just to get the momentum. Wants to go first.
Yep.
Or wants the choice.
Yep. 1 health.
4 damage, down to 1 health left on Sakana.
And I'm assuming Sakana dead.
Takes a double push.
Takes a double push, yeah. He doesn't want to give that reposition of Sakana at the top of the next turn. And he's just...
Double push, just come in. You go with Hooper. You
take
just
as much momentum as I possibly can.
He's got momentous push on 1, so as long as he doesn't wrap, so we may not see True Grit, just to keep those dice numbers down. Just push, 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 take out at the top, get your momentum. Off goes Hemlock or Scum for the goal.
Yep.
Had just word there from the War Machine Twitch account. Vincent lost to Christian, so it's Germany versus Germany in the final. So this game now being played for just a bit of pride.
Yep. That's efficient, that is.
Efficient.
That's efficient. Let's win the WTC in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Who needs a final? We'll just make sure we win it.
Yeah.
Make sure we win it in the
semi. Coin toss, yeah.
That'd be a drinking competition, knowing those guys.
Yeah. Yes.
And that means England 1 wins because they've got Timmy, and that's just how that works.
England 1 wins.
Sorry, Germany 1 wins.
Just to say.
Entirely neutral.
Yeah.
In fairness, I was rooting for Ivory Coast all along.
Yeah. We both were. Ivory Coast aren't doing too bad either. They are on 2 wins, 1 loss for the round.
Nice.
Not for this round, for the tournament, sorry. And yet that's Sakana gone.
Martin's aware.
Oh no, Sakana's still there,
I wonder if Martin's aware that he doesn't need to be super stressed over this. Oh.
So I've not been told, so they still got to play their games out.
Is that like a WTC rule?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess it's one of those...
Yeah, makes sense. It's sort of...
It can influence your game massively if you go, wait, you've won. So I'm currently... Like we saw earlier, when it was 6-0.
I have to win or we're out.
Yeah.
It's...
Changes the way you play.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we are just seeing everybody dogpile into Sakana here just to... Imagine the relief you'd have as Martin if you lost this game.
He lost this and they just turns around to his teammates like, sorry guys, we lost. And it's like, it's right, we both won. And he's like, oh. Why didn't you say anything?
And yeah, we're just seeing here momentous pushes all round.
Yep.
Just generate momentum, get a big old pile, heal people up.
And just, I mean, the main thing here for Pat is I need to make sure I don't leave any openings for you to come and strip this ball and take the game off me.
Yep.
Scum moves 8 over to there.
Shadowlight sprint, so Shadowlight just counteracting the rough ground.
Loss of 2. And we go to the roll off.
So I guess the only thing we've got here is that if Germany win this game, they beat the USA 3-0. And that is a sticking point for them for all social media interactions going forwards.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Nice bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Ribbing?
That's the one. We'll go with that one.
Banter?
That one's work safe.
Ribbon? Banter?
They're all work safe versions. They're all work safe versions of what the Germans would call it.
Something slinging?
Yeah, sure.
That one works, yeah.
Yep.
You can just see all this influence going down on the Brewers. Like, yeah, we're just going to pile it on, push the corner around.
Yeah, just like, is this another one of those? I feel like I feel like one of our most frequent phrases in doing this commentary is the good old fashioned, basically just relying on a missed shot.
Yeah. Well, it so frequently happens is that you get yourself into a position where someone has the ball
as soon as
and is one goal away.
We've been playing to 8. I've been playing to 12. You've been playing to 8 because you've got the ball.
Yeah.
The only way that this game changes is if I'm the one that gets the playing to 8.
Yeah.
So is that kind of finally gone?
Yeah. So that is 10-8. Where's the ball? It seems to be on.
Is it the back on the player that I always forget who it is? Is that Spigot?
Yes. I don't know. I'm going to say yes.
Why can't you tell, Jamie?
Brewer blind.
I was trying to get him to say it. I was trying to get him to say it.
I knew you were.
Comment on the size of our visual equipment.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do it.
So that was a mash pass to Spigot, and Spigot takes the 4-inch dodge, gets safe, nice and safe away from all the fishermen.
This is going to be a very slow advance towards the goal.
Well, Spigot's got a native, 18-inch threat on goal?
Yeah, but he's not going to go in until there's no threat at all.
16.
Going to set up getting everybody engaged, everybody tied down, so their influence isn't as efficient as you want it to be.
Yeah. We've got Tapper now going in on Siren. Down to 9 health. Down to 8 health left. Takes the knockdown. Gets some momentum. Three damage. Down to 5. Last one. And down to 2 left on Siren. What's the Fisherman players out here?
Hope they miss.
Yeah.
I think like you kind of set up to make that miss as likely as you possibly can. But I think we're going to see whether it's a miss or a goal coming up very shortly. What is interesting is...
just out of range, I think. That was Spigot's threat on goal there. Heroic sprint gets him up to 10-inch sprint, then 7-inch kick, so 17 inches. I think they just called it because Pat's clock just went out. Spigot wasn't in range.
Oh.
So victory to Martin. So end of the game. They've called it at 10-8. Be recorded as a 12-8 because too many activations to get there for Spigot. Unlucky for Pat. He did fantastic to bring that back.
He was doing very well.
He did so well.
Draw it back.
And again, clock, as we said, would come into it.
So assuming our information is correct,
yep,
that will be a 3-0 Germany won over USA 1.
Yep.
Do we know what it was in the other semi? Do we know what the final score was? Do we know it's a 2-0 currently?
Do not know.
So it's a 2-0 Germany 2 versus England 1. So England playing one for pride there.
Yep.
The final will be Germany. So
Germany. So congratulations, Germany.
Congratulations, Germany, doing it as efficiently as possible, winning the WTC in the semi-final.
In round 4 of 5, yeah. Good job for them. But will it be Germany 1 or Germany 2?
Yeah, we're going to go and have a chat with those guys and see if we can work out what they're playing for. Yeah. Like, is this like the bragging rights of who gets the title of Germany 1 next year? How is that going to play out? Yeah. But that was it was a good game.
Good game, and well played to Pat, bringing it back. I mean, we thought when it was 6-0 that Brewers just out of it, but congratulations for bringing it back. And what looked like a hair's breadth short for Spigot there. Clock beeps to call it. There's no point playing that. That was out.
Yep. Martin did super well. He did play very well.
Yes, he did.
At the start, you knew that it was going to hit that point where Corsair's going to go down and everything slows down, but he did make good use of the VPs that were available to him to make sure that he was in a good foothold to be able to start making use of the clock time. The Sakana activation was a mistake. I think Martin will agree with us that Sakana activation was a mistake. He should have just turned around. Everyone should have run away and just been like, get into a situation where it's like, sure, you can score, but you're going to clock out before you can get the rest of the VPs you need.
Yep.
Yeah, super good game. We'll be back for the Germany final.
Yes.
Keep your eye on the social media for what time that will be, because some of the round times have tweaked around from what they were going to be on the schedule.
Yep.
So that is the Facebook and the Twitters. I'm pretty sure there were a few #PerkinsWatch photos up on the Twitter last night. So if you want to go and see,
search for that #PerkinsWatch.
Go and have a look at old Jamie P, the Jamie P.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a bit.
Yeah. See you soon, everybody.